It's a beautiful day for a tiger. School's a beautiful day for a tiger. This is your time, a wonderful time. It's a terrific day for terrific kids, a terrific day for all tigers. This is your time, a wonderful time. We have always wanted to have students just like you. We've always wanted to do our best just for you. So let's make the most of these at-home days. We can't be together, might as well say, this is your time, a wonderful time, just to be a tiger. Please won't you be a tiger? Well, hello kids, Dr. Glass here. It is a wonderful day to be a tiger, and boy do we have a wonderful show for you today. Let's ask our friend, Mr. Tiger. Oh, Mr. Tiger! Mr. Tiger!
Well, hello, Dr. Glass. Boy, do we have a great show for the kids today. Today, we're going to learn how to cook, and we're going to have so much fun making things. And we're going to learn about so many new and wonderful things today. It's going to be a fantastic and wonderful show.
Sounds great! Now, on with the show.
Good morning, Tiger friends. My name is Mrs. Fisher, and I have some friends with me today. This is Quincy Callis and Perry Callis, and this is Bella. And today we are filming our cooking segment on the porch because it's a beautiful day, and this is something that you can do outdoors. Today we're going to be making an herb garden. We're going to tell you all about the things that you will need and how you can put your herb garden together, and you can include that into your family cookbook. The things that you will need for your herb garden are here on the table. I didn't have a spray bottle inside the house, so I picked something that would work just as good. You probably have this in your cabinet. It's just a measuring cup that you can put some water in. You're going to need 6 eggs. There's a dozen in here, but you'll just need 6 depending on how many herb gardens you want to make. You'll need some potting soil and some spoons that you can use to put your potting soil into the eggs. You'll need a bowl that you can put the eggs in, put a lid on, and save them for later if you want to make scrambled eggs. You'll also need some paper, and if you have popsicle sticks at home, you can use that. This is going to be to label your herbs. I didn't have any popsicle sticks, so I just went to one of my trees and I grabbed some sticks, and you will be able to use that to label them and stick in the herb garden. I was also out of Scotch tape, and I needed something to attach these, so I had some little clips that I'm going to use that were just in my craft drawer. And then last, you will need some herbs. Do you guys know what herbs are?
Yeah.
Do you know what they are?
I have some popsicle sticks at home.
You do. So you could borrow some from your neighbors if you wanted to do that. So do you guys know what herbs are?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, herbs are like spices that you can use whenever you're cooking. So I bet your mom uses different spices when she cooks spaghetti or other fun dishes. She might use some herbs. And I picked some herbs that I thought would be fun to use. We have dill, lavender, and we have rosemary.
I like the purple one.
Isn't that the prettiest one? I think it is too. So those are what we will be planting today. The first thing that we want to do is we have to open up our eggs and crack the eggs. This is a super fun thing for kids to do. I know that you might be hesitant in letting them crack eggs if you haven't ever done that before, but I encourage you to let them try because it's a lot of fun for them. So we're going to use 6 of the eggs today. And have you guys ever cracked eggs before?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know what to do? Yay, we have some professionals here. So we're going to crack the egg first. We're going to crack 6 of them. Very good, Perry. Very good. Now we're going to take the eggshell and we're actually going to set it right back in there. And we're going to crack 6 of our eggs. You ready, Quincy? All right.
What is that for?
This water?
No,
This is to wipe our hands. Did you get some egg on your hands? Okay, go ahead and wipe your hands. This is a fun thing for kids to do. It works on their fine motor, also gives them experience in cracking the eggs. We do this in my kindergarten class. We do all kinds of cooking experiences, and the kids really enjoy it. Cracking the eggs is one of their most fun things to do. Okay, so we have 2 eggs cracked. We need another one. We're going to do a total of 6 eggs because we're going to use each eggshell for our herb garden. Quincy and Perry have gotten all of the eggs cracked. So Perry, can you put the lid on our eggs and we can use those later in the kitchen? We'll put them in the refrigerator and it'll be something you can use if you want to scramble eggs or something like that. You can still use the eggs. Thank you. You can set them right there. So we have 6 eggs that are cracked and we're going to take each eggshell that they've cracked in half and we're going to put a half on each side. So it will look like this. After we get the eggs on each side, you'll have 12 shells. And the shells will work as our pots for our herb garden. You want to hold it up and show them? So there we have the 12 eggshells now that we can use for our herb garden. We have our 12 eggshells that are each halves that are in our egg carton, and we're ready to put our potting soil in there. So Quincy, I'm going to let you go first. You're just going to take a spoon of the potting soil and you're going to put it right inside the egg just like that.
Don't put it on my head.
Does he usually put it on your head?
No.
Okay, Perry, you want to put some in there too?
Is this one?
You can use whichever one you would like to.
That one.
Okay. So we'll continue this process until all of the eggshells have a little bit of dirt inside them. We used the lavender to plant within our first 4 eggshells. So now we're going to do the dill. We're going to plant those in the next 4, and you can choose how many you want to do. We just chose 3 today, but you can do a variety of them if you want. We also had some extra lavender left over, so to make sure that we actually have good seeds inside there, we added a few more just to make sure that they do grow. All right, let's do the dill seeds. Now these are a little bit bigger, so I'll put these on the shovel, and you guys can put them inside these 4 eggshells. All right, this one right here. There you go.
I can
Right here,
see
Quincy.
it. I
They're
can see
tiny.
it, but I can still see it.
Yeah. We'll have to put some more. You want to put them right here and here. These 4. We'll have to put more soil over the top of them after we get all the seeds within there.
I can't get some.
You want to put some in this one?
Because my hands are too tiny.
They're too tiny. They're hard to get, aren't they?
Actually,
Our last herb to plant is rosemary, and we actually put more dill in these other ones, so we have 2 eggshells left that we're going to put rosemary in, and you can do it however you want at home. You can plant as many of the seeds within the different eggshells that you want. So we have 2 left that we're going to do. Let me pour these on here, and then you guys can put the rosemary. Now these seeds are small, like the lavender seeds. Okay, so you can put seeds in those last 2 eggshells, and then we'll have them all planted and we'll be ready to put some potting soil on the top. We have all of the seeds inside the eggshells, and now we're ready to fill the top of them with the potting soil. So go ahead and put the potting soil on top.
this like I put one on there.
Yeah, we're going to do that to the rest of them. Quincy, you want to go ahead and put some on? We're going to cover the seed with the potting soil. That way the seeds don't get too wet. They're protected whenever we water them. We have the potting soil covered, and now we're ready to label our herbs. What we have here are some papers, and if you have a kindergartner, they can probably stretch out the words and write the sounds that they hear in the words on the label, and then we'll be able to use it to put in here. If you have a child that needs some help with that, they can actually just copy what it says right here, copy the name of the herb, and they can use that as a resource. So Quincy is going to write rosemary first. He's going to use the herb package as a resource. And it's always fun to have your kids write, and it just makes your herb garden more personalized. So now we have Perry. She's writing lavender, so we can label our lavender herb. Our last herb is dill, and Perry's going to write dill for us. How many letters does it have in it, Perry?
4.
4 letters. We have all of our herbs labeled on our papers, and we're ready to put them onto the sticks. All right, so we have our labels on our sticks, and we are ready to do the watering of the herbs. That'll be our last step. Are you ready to do that, guys? Our last step is watering, so I'm going to move these right over here so we don't mess up their pretty writing that they did, because sometimes the watering can get a little messy if we water too much. So I have just a little bit of water in here. I had more than this, and I thought we probably better pour out some of it, because sometimes it can, if you don't have good control, then we'll have too much water. So I'm going to let you go ahead and water, Perry. Hold on to it. There you go. We're just going to give it a little sprinkle. Nice work. Hey, Quincy, you want to do the next 4?
Friends, and happy Art Thursday. I am so excited because we've had a really great week celebrating our encore classes. We had a good time serenading Mrs. Dean with Love Grows on Monday. We used a little tech for Tuesday, and we created our strong hearts on Wednesday. And today you're going to create a special art mashup. Before we begin, I want to tell you how much you are loved, and we miss you, and we cannot wait to see you again, because you are so special and you are always in our hearts, even if we're not together. You can use any material you can think of to create your project, but you're going to combine rainbows and paw prints in your piece of artwork. You can decorate it and design it however you want. I want it to be as creative as you would like it to be. And when you're finished, you can share it here on the Facebook page, or you can email it to me at cochranh@capetigers.com. And here's an example of mine. And I'll give an image below the video so you can take a look at it. I used watercolor because that's what I have here. But the little tops of the paw print are rainbows, and then the paw print is the central focus of the work. If you would like, you can post an image below of your piece of artwork. You can even use the hashtag #CTPawprintsAndRainbows. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, the best day ever, and we'll see you soon. Bye!
Hello, this is Mrs. Herzog, and I'm hoping you will join me in an activity that requires a little bit of math, reading, writing, and art. Today, we're going to make a postcard for somebody that you miss. So, I am writing to Dr. Kofeld. And I have taken paper from my house, because I don't have a postcard. You could use an index card if you had that, but I didn't have that either. So I took cardstock, which is a little bit thicker, and I took my ruler, here's your math, and I measured 4 by 6 inches, and I cut out a 4 by 6 postcard. Try that now. Then take your 4 by 6 postcard and measure halfway between, which is half of 6 is 3, and make a line. On the right side, make 3 or 4 lines so that you can write the address of the person that you're missing and you want to write to. Now, the reason I chose postcard instead of a letter, it's a little less writing. You don't have to write a long letter. You can just write a sweet note, and then you can do the art part and decorate the back, which is really fun. So before you are finished, make sure that you have all the parts of your letter. You had your greeting, the body, the closing, and the signature. And you also have the address of the person that it goes to. Now, I have a place for a stamp up there. If you want to send a postcard, a stamp for a postcard costs 35 cents. If you don't want to put the stamp on it, then don't put it in the mail. Just hold on to it, and the next time you see this person, you can hand them the postcard and they will appreciate it then too. So make sure you decorate, you put your art on there, you have all your parts to your postcard, and when you're finished, please take a picture and put it on the Facebook page so we can all enjoy your sweet postcard. Hope to see you soon. Miss you. Bye.
Hey friends, I missed you! One thing that I really miss is hanging out with you and dancing in the music room and doing silly stuff. Because we all know that's my favorite stuff to do. Silly stuff. So today I thought it would be really fun if we have a dance party in our living rooms doing one of our favorite music room activities, freeze dance. So, clear out some room for you to dance and grab your brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, moms and dads, and let's have a freeze dance party. For this first round of freeze dance, I want you to dance when the music is playing, but when the music stops, freeze in the pose that you see. Let's try it. Good. Now let's change it up a bit. This time, the music isn't going to stop. The music will keep playing, but instead of freezing in the pose, I want you to make a dance out of that pose. So if you see the little guy standing with his hands above his head, I want you to dance in that pose. Let's see how it goes. was fun. Now, if you want to play this game at home, you can create your own cards with your own little stick figures. Easy breezy. Just draw a stick figure in a pose, and you can show it to your grown-ups or to your brothers and sisters, and pause the music and have a fun dance party in your living room. I miss you, friends. Can't wait till we're all dancing together again. Have a great day.
Blanchard friends, this is Mrs. Bullinger. I'm the 3rd grade communication arts teacher at Blanchard. My challenge for you this week is to read one paragraph of a book with really great expression. Before you video yourself, practice a few times first as though you're talking to a friend. Remember to use a slight pause at punctuation like commas and ending punctuation, as well as if a sentence ends with an exclamation mark or a question mark, you need to make your voice go up a little at the end for inflection. Hey friends, this is how not to read with good expression. If you've been in my reading class before, I usually call it robot reading. So you don't want to read like this. I'm a linky, slinky, jazz cat. I sing meow, meow, meow. And that would be really boring and it would probably put me to sleep. So you want to make sure that after you've practiced it a few times beforehand, that you want to use that really great expression, okay? So this is kind of what it should sound like. You can either read it just like this so you can see your words easily, or if you want to hold it up for everyone to see your pictures, that's fine too. This page comes from Barnyard Boogie. It's a puppet book, so it makes it a little extra fun. I'm a linky slinky jazz cat. I sing meow, meow, meow. Linky slinky me, linky slinky out. I'm a linky slinky jazz cat. Meow, meow, meow. All right, friends, that's your challenge for the week. I can't wait to see videos of you and your amazing expression. I miss you guys so much, and I am so ready to see your smiling faces again. Bye-bye.
Hey boys and girls, Dr. Kofeld here. Hey, I got a heart on my front door and it's all dedicated to you guys. So if you want to make a heart too for your door or your window, I'll show you how to do that. Hi boys and girls, Dr. Kofeld. So here I'm in my house and I have a heart on my door, and I was going to show you how you can make a heart for your door or your window too, because you know we are Blanchard Elementary, the school with a heart. So this is a heart that we handed out last week on the drive-thru for the breakfast lunch program that we're having every day. So this was handed out, but you can make your own. What you do is you fold a piece of paper in two, and then you just make a half of the heart, and then you can just cut it out for yourself. Make your very own heart. You can make big ones or little ones or medium-sized ones, and you can make it whatever color you want, because you know the heart is a symbol of love. And even though we are not together, we don't get to see each other, just know that you are always, always, and forever, ever in my heart. Hope I get to see you soon. Miss you, love you. Bye-bye.
Hello friends, I'm Andrea Strapp from Clifford Elementary, and today I'm visiting my friends at Lazy L Safari. Let's go take a look around.
Hey, this is Vicki with Lazy L Safari, my helper Hadley, and we are here to talk to you today about some of the biofacts from some of the animals here at Lazy L Safari. The first thing we're going to talk about is antlers, okay? Now, antlers are the fastest growing true bone in nature, and I've brought some examples here today from some of our animals. The two different types of deer that we raise are red deer and fallow deer. Red deer are a deer that originated out of Europe. They're a little bit smaller than an elk, and their antlers have a crown to them. So let me just show you. When they're 1 year old, we call this a spike, and a red deer antler is going to look like this. They don't get very big. As the deer get older, it gets a lot bigger. So Hadley here is going to show you an example. The same deer, when it's 1 year old, this is going to be a 2 or 3 year old red deer stag, okay? Now, fallow deer are a little bit different. They are another deer, again, a deer from Europe. They come in 3 different colors, brown, spotted, and white. Now, their antlers are going to look a little bit different. Again, this is the first year. This is a spike on a fallow deer. By the time they're 2 or 3, their antlers are going to look like this. And you can see they're a little different. You might notice this part kind of looks like the palm of your hand. In the fallow deer business, that's what we call a palm in the fallow deer. Now, antlers start growing in the spring. They will grow through the summer, and in the fall, they will the velvet will come off, because what happens is they will look really fuzzy, and then all that velvet will come off. Maybe look a little bloody. It's really just kind of itchy, about like a snake shedding its skin. It's not painful at all. And then they will look like this. They're what we call hard-horned, okay? Then again, the next year, the antlers will drop off, and they will start the whole process over again. There are 3 things that influence the size of an antler: the age of the animal, the genetics, and the nutrition. Now, a lot of people think that antlers and horns are the same thing, and this is just not actually true. So I did bring a couple examples of horns today, and here's what happens with antlers, the difference between antlers and horns. Antlers grow from the tip and are shed annually. Horns grow from the base and grow for the life of the animal. If a animal breaks the horn off, it does not grow back. I do have a couple examples of horns I will show you. This is a small horn. This is off of a Jacob's 4-horn sheep, which is a sheep with 4 horns. This one, this big one here, let me show you this. This is off of a scimitar-horned oryx. Now, another thing I want to talk about today are ratites. Ratites are a flightless bird. That means they do not fly. I'm going to talk about 3 animals today. I'm going to show you some of their eggs. This is a rhea egg. A rhea is an animal from South America. They come in 2 different colors, white or gray. They get about 4 feet tall. Very interesting fact about rheas are the females lay the eggs, but the males actually make the nest. They lay on the eggs, hatch them out, and they actually take care of the young in the rhea family. This is an emu egg. Emus are from Australia. They're the 2nd largest bird next to the ostrich. Interesting fact about emus is before they hatch, emus, when they're little chicks, they make a little whistling sound, and you can always tell when they're getting ready to hatch. We hatch out a lot of our own eggs here, incubators, but you can hear them whistling in the eggs. Another interesting fact, you can see the pretty color of these. Emus lay their eggs in the winter time. Ostrich and rheas lay their eggs in the spring, summer, and into early fall. Now, this is an ostrich egg. Ostriches are from Africa. Ostriches get about 8 foot tall. The males will have black feathers, the females will have gray feathers. When they hatch out, though, they're all brown feathers, and they don't feather out till they get closer to adulthood. This ostrich egg, you can see how big it is. This is actually equal in volume to 2 dozen chicken eggs. And ostriches' eggs are good to eat. They're a lot lower in cholesterol than chicken eggs. Another animal we raise here at the zoo are African crested porcupines. Here's some of the quills from some of our porcupines. These are actually pieces of keratin, which is pieces of hair. Porcupines do not shoot their quills at you. That's just a myth. You may see that on cartoons. Actually, what will happen is if they are scared of a predator, they will start rattling their quills and spreading them out. And then if you get too close to them, they will stick in you. They are very, very sharp.
Did you know there are over 4,700 species of frogs? Did you know an ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain? Did you know emus are the 2nd largest bird next to the ostrich? Did you know zebras run in a zigzag pattern, making it harder for predators to catch them? Did you know a macaw's beak is so strong it can easily crush and open a nut or a human knuckle? That would hurt. Did you know the longest snake in the world is the reticulated python? It can be up to 30 feet long. Did you know the world's largest rodent is a capybara? They can weigh up to 100 pounds. Did you know penguins live in Africa? They have a loud call that sounds like a donkey. Did you know tigers have striped skin, not just striped fur? They are also the largest of the cat family, and they are also good swimmers.
Hey, it's Vicki again at Lazy L Safari, and this is my little buddy. This is Scooby the kangaroo. Now Scooby, let me tell you a little bit about Scooby. He is a red kangaroo. They're the largest of the kangaroo species. Of course, they're from Australia. And Scooby is probably about 8 or 9 months old. Notice he's got 3 big toes on his big feet, on his back feet. Alligators are native to only the United States and China, the Chinese alligator. American alligators live in freshwater environments such as ponds, marshes, wetlands, rivers, lakes, and swamps. An average adult American alligator is 13 feet and weighs around 800 pounds, but can grow to 14 feet and almost 1,000 pounds. The ball python, also known as the royal python, is a python species found in sub-Saharan Africa or West Africa. Ball pythons prefer grasslands, savannas, and sparsely wooded areas. In the wild, their diet consists of mostly small animals. Like all other pythons, it is a non-venomous constrictor. This is the smallest of the African pythons and is popular in the pet trade, largely due to its small size and typically docile temperament. Uromastic is a genus of African and Asian lizards, the member species of which are commonly called spiny-tailed lizards. The size ranges from 10 inches to 36 inches or more. Hatchlings are usually no more than 3 to 4 inches in length. They tend to establish themselves in hilly, rocky areas with good shelter and accessible vegetation. Their spiked tail is muscular and heavy and can be swung at an attacker with great velocity. Uromastics generally sleep in their burrows with their tails closest to the opening in order to scare intruders. The African Sulcata tortoise is the 3rd largest tortoise species in the world. The largest are the Galapagos and the Aldabras. They are not turtles, they cannot swim, they are land tortoises. They can be found in the savannas of Africa. Adults can reach up to 33 inches across and can weigh up to 230 pounds. They can live more than 70 to 100 years. The females dig a nest in the ground to lay their eggs. These are called clutches, and they may contain 15 to 30 or more eggs. After the eggs are laid, the female fills in the nest to cover them all, and it takes about 30 to 120 days to hatch. They make great pets. They have a great temperament. They require large enclosures and temperatures above 60 degrees. The African Pygmy Goat is a breed of miniature domestic goat. The Pygmy Goat is quite a hardy animal and can adapt to virtually all climates. The Pygmy Goat was developed from the West African dwarf goat, which was found most commonly in the Cameroon Valley. They were taken to Europe primarily by the British during the colonial era. A few hundred were later exported to the United States from Europe in the 1950s for use in zoos and for their milk. They were eventually acquired by private breeders and quickly gained popularity as pets and as exhibition animals owing to their small size, good-natured personalities, friendliness, and hardiness. Pygmy goats are the most common breed of goats kept as pets. Baby goats are called kids, and a female can give birth to 1 to 4 young. The origins of the Jacob four-horned sheep are not known. It has been bred in the British Isles for several hundred years. The most distinguishing features of the Jacob sheep are their four horns, although they may have as few as 2 or as many as 6. Both sexes are always horned, and the rams tend to have larger and more impressive horns. The lambs will exhibit their spotting and horn characteristics at birth, with the horn buds more readily apparent on ram lambs. Jacob ewes are instinctively attentive mothers and are very protective of their lambs. There are 2 species of chinchillas, and they are part of the rodent family. They live in colonies called herds. Historically, chinchillas lived in an area that included parts of Bolivia, Peru, Argentina, and Chile, but today, colonies in the wild are known only in Chile. The domestic chinchilla is descended from the long-tailed chinchilla, and the more common one in the wild, the short-tailed chinchilla, has been hunted nearly to extinction. The guinea pig, also known as cavy or domestic cavy, is a species of rodent. Despite their common name, guinea pigs are not native to Guinea, nor are they closely biologically related to pigs, and the origin of the name is still unclear. Spanish, Dutch, and English traders brought guinea pigs to Europe, where they quickly became popular as exotic pets among the upper classes and royalties. In Western society, the domestic guinea pig also enjoyed widespread popularity as a pocket pet or household pet. Their docile nature and friendly responsiveness to handling and feeding continue to make guinea pigs a popular choice of pet. There are 17 species of hedgehogs found in Europe, Asia, and Africa, and they have been introduced to New Zealand. The one you see here today is the African pygmy hedgehog. Hedgehogs are easily recognized by their spines, which are hollow hairs made stiff with keratin. Their spines are not poisonous or barbed, and unlike the quills of a porcupine, do not easily detach from their body. A defense that all species of hedgehogs possess is the ability to roll in a tight ball, causing all of the spines to point outwards. They are nocturnal, they sleep all day and awake during the night. Now these are scimitar-horned oryx. They are an African antelope. And one thing about these were actually listed on the endangered species list, also with the Dama gazelle and the Adex, but we actually got them delisted in the United States because there's so many in private breeders' hands in the United States. They have actually taken some of these and reintroduced them to the wild. Because all the animals you see today, none of these animals were taken from the wild. They were all bred in captivity. However, private breeders is how we're going to conserve these species.
So today we're visiting here with Lucille, and we wanted to talk a little bit about some interesting facts about camels. This year our class read a book called My Librarian is a Camel, and we learned some really interesting things. Did you know that in Kenya and other parts of the world, children receive their books from camels? In poor remote villages, books are hard to come by, so the camels actually help deliver the books to the library. Another interesting fact we learned when talking about camels was although most people think that their humps are filled with water, the humps actually have fat. That fat is used as reserve for energy for the camels so they can go long periods of time without water. One other interesting thing you may notice when looking at Lucille is she has pads on her belly, her knees, and the bottom of her feet. Those pads actually help protect camels when they lay on the ground so that the sand doesn't burn their skin. There are two different types of camels. One humped or dromedary camels and two humped Bactrian camels. I learned an interesting trick for telling the two apart. If you look at the letter B, there are two humps. So B for Bactrian. The letter D has one hump, so you think of D for dromedary. Camels also have 3 sets of eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes. This will help keep the sand out of their eyes. Camels have thick lips, which lets them forage for thorny plants other animals can't eat.
Hey guys, it's Vicki again at Lazy L Safari. Come here guys, this is Lucy and Ethel, and we've got Donkey Kong here. Donkey Kong, do you want one? These are our ringtail lemurs. These are one of my favorite animals. There, Hadley, you want to feed them? You'll notice they've got 13 black and white stripes on their tail. Their tail is always longer than their body. And of course, where are they from? You all know, the island of Madagascar. Now in the wild, these are an endangered species, but there are a lot of ringtail lemurs in captivity in the United States in zoos and private breeders. Lucy and Ethel were part of our animal encounter programs last year at schools, and now they've moved in with what we call a troop. That's what you call a group of ringtail lemurs. Lemurs love to jump and play, so they've got lots of toys in here to keep them busy. A lot of people want to know if a lemur is a monkey. Well, let me just tell you, they are prosimian, part of the primate family. Monkeys, apes, and prosimians make up the primate family, and a lemur is a prosimian. So they're kind of a relative to the monkey. They love Fruit Loops. This is what they work for when we take them on our educational programs. They work for Fruit Loops. Welcome to Parakeet Jungle. Got over 100 parakeets in here, and you can get a little stick of feed and they'll fly down just like that, land right on your stick. Whoop, there it went. Watch out though, they may land on your head too. Let me tell you just a little bit about the Lazy L Safari. We are a privately funded and private zoo, family owned and operated agritourism venue. We raise all different breeds of exotic animals. Just for example, the lemurs here, they are an endangered species. So private breeders like us try to breed these species and bring them back kind of for conservation. Just for an example, if you do not have a special endangered species permit from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, you have to buy an endangered species from your own state. So Lucy and Ethel here was purchased from a private breeder, another private zoo in the state of Missouri. And they were purchased last year. They were used for our educational programs where we educate kids and adults, everybody, about our animals and about the conservation of exotic animals. And then when they get a little older, they just turned a year old in March, now they're moved into our troop, into our zoo, and we will probably get another baby later on this year to use for our educational shows next year. So private breeders are very important for the conservation of exotic animals.
Thanks for coming!
Hi boys and girls, my name is Mrs. Fisher and I teach kindergarten at Blanchard Elementary. Today I am on here to encourage you all to make your own family cookbook. When my kids were little, we created this family cookbook together and we still use it today. So in the cookbook, you can have recipes that maybe this one their grandmother added, this is one that I added, and this is a recipe that one of my kids added, and so on. So this recipe book is a treasure to our family. It's something that we still use today, and I think that it would be a great idea for your family to make one as well. So once you have your recipe book created, I want you all to work together to write out your own recipe to put inside the book. Today, what we're going to make, or what I'm going to show you how to make, is monkey bread. It's one of my kids' favorites, and we've also made it in kindergarten, and it's a lot of fun to make. So as you can see here, these are the ingredients that you're going to need to make your monkey bread. You're going to need a 4-pack of biscuits, the small biscuits. You're going to need sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, butter, a bundt pan if you have one. If you don't have one, you could also use any other type of baking dish to put it in, and some non-stick cooking spray, as well as a bag for you to be able to shake up your biscuits in. Okay, so before you begin, the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You'll want to have your parents help you do this too. And then I've already preset my oven, so it's warming up while I'm preparing the biscuits. This is a super fun activity that you can do with big kids or little kids, and if you have little kids, working together makes it a lot of fun. It's a fun experience. So you're going to want to unwrap your first can of biscuits, and this part your child can do with you watching, and you'll want to cut each one of the biscuits in half. You can give them a butter knife to use, and you can show them how to slice the biscuits in half. You can also talk about fractions whenever you're doing the cooking with the biscuits, and talk about how 2 parts make a whole, all different types of things that you can do whenever you're cooking. So after you get all of the first can of biscuits cut, you'll go ahead and open up the other 3 cans of biscuits and you'll do the same thing. Okay, so my helper, my daughter Haley, helped me cut up all of the biscuits so they're ready to go. You can tell there are a bunch of biscuits on here. If you wanted to do a monkey bread recipe with half of them and you didn't want to fill an entire bundt cake, you could always do a smaller recipe of this too. But for this recipe, we're going to use a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and a 1/2 cup of white sugar. So we're going to pour both of those inside the bowl, and you want to make sure your brown sugar is packed in there. And then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which I have here. So we're going to mix that all up too. Then we're going to take a spoon or a fork, and we're just going to mix up the brown sugar and the white sugar and the cinnamon. Okay, so earlier I had told you to get a small sandwich bag, and that's if you have several kids in your family, more than 1, 2, or 3 kids that you want to take turns mixing up the biscuits with the cinnamon and sugar and brown sugar mix. So this is your choice. You can either do a gallon Ziploc bag where you can put all of it in there, or you can take turns and do a couple different bags where you can put the biscuits inside with this mixture and they can take turns shaking it up. Okay, so now we are ready to put the mixture inside the big gallon bag, and I'm gonna put all of the biscuits inside here too. But I need a helper. Wait, I think there's somebody over at the door. Let's see if she wants to come and help. Oh, it's Perry, my neighbor. Hi, Perry. Would you like to come in and help make some monkey bread? Fabulous. Come on over. Okay, I'll bring a stool over here for you. We're gonna wash our hands first and then you can help me, okay? All right, come climb on up over here. And then I'll get you a hand squirt, some soap, some too. And we're gonna wash our hands to make sure they're extra clean before we mix with the monkey bread, okay? All right, you know how to sing your ABCs? All right, let's sing it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I sing my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Perfect. All right, here's your paper towel. And I'll dry mine off. And now we're ready to mix up some monkey bread. Okay, so Perry Callis is my little assistant today. She lives next door and she decided to come and help me. So we put some of these in a smaller bag so it would be easier for her to shake since she's a little bit smaller. So Perry, can you show us how you can shake it like a monkey? Go ahead and shake it up and down. Good job, very good. Shake it up nice and good. Maybe throw it up in the air. Throw the bag up in the air. Woo, there you go. All right, let's check it out and see if it's good. Think they're pretty good? Yeah. Okay, so we've got our first biscuits. They're all covered in the cinnamon and sugar. You can add more until this is sugar right here.
No, that's sugar.
Right there?
No.
That?
Yeah.
Definitely sugar. Candy bowl. I always have a candy bowl. So then we're going to add all of the biscuits until we get them all coated just like this. Do you know what this is called?
No.
It's called a bundt pan. And this is the pan we're going to use to make our monkey bread. We're gonna spray some cooking spray inside the pan just to keep it from sticking. You don't have to use that, but I like to use it just to keep it from sticking. So, would you like to spray it in there?
That's why I got a ponytail if my hair gets in there.
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you want to spray our pan? All right, here we go. Is it hard?
Mm-hmm.
Let me help you get it started. Oh, it's definitely working. I'll let you try it. There you go. Spray it all in there. Nice work. I can tell.
It smells gross.
Smells gross. Now we have to take your monkey bread and we're going to put it inside the bundt pan. So you can take a piece out like this and stick it inside the pan. You want to grab them out of there? We're going to fill all of the biscuits within the bundt pan and then we'll be ready to put it in the oven. So the last thing we have to do to make our monkey bread is we melted 6 tablespoons of butter in a bowl in the microwave. And this is kind of hot, so this is the part I'm going to do. I'm just going to
green.
Yeah, I'm going to drizzle it over the monkey bread.
It's kind of like eggs.
Kind of looks like eggs, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it has white and stuff in there, and yellow stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. So we have it all inside. What do you think? How does it look?
Good.
Can we eat it yet?
No.
Nope. What do we have to do? We have to put it in the oven. So we're going to put it in the oven now. It's set at 350 degrees, and we're going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes. All right, I just took the monkey bread out of the oven, and you can kind of see what it looks like. I did end up baking it for 30 minutes instead of 20 minutes. I had a lot of butter and I thought it needed to bake a little bit longer, and sometimes that's what happens when you're cooking. You just check on it and think that you need to bake it a little bit longer. So our monkey bread is ready for eating. I'm going to take some out and send it over to Perry, my neighbor, and enjoy it with her. Thanks for watching. I hope that this encourages you to do your own cooking experiences with your family and have your own family recipe book. Have a great day.
Okay, I'm back. I've got another project for you guys. Using our cardboard boxes. I think you're gonna like this one too. I've done paper figures. I've done our wonderful creations with our cardboard so that we can create sculptures and a whole building set with our own 2 hands. And now I'm going to do a project where we make some robots. But we're going to make a basic robot shape. Okay, I have some cardboard here, and I've got some cardboard pieces. And I'm going to glue these littler pieces that I've cut. I've cut a head, and you can use any shape you like, but I just happen to use squares and rectangles. I've got a body. I'm going to stick a neck in here too. I think that'll be kind of fun. I've got some some arms, and I have some legs for my robot, and that's going to be my basic robot. And I'm going to glue those onto my cardboard, and after that's dry, I'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, we're back. I have my cardboard with my shapes glued on it. It's dry. You have to wait for it to dry. I let mine dry overnight because I'm going to be putting paper on top like this. I have some of this old gray paper I've had sitting around in my art studio here at home, but you can use any kind of paper. Copy paper works well. If you've got an old piece of wrapping paper, you can put that on there with the print side underneath and rub on it. So I'm going to rub with a crayon. And as I rub, I want to make sure I catch all the edges of my shapes, or the vertices. Sometimes that's the fancy word for edges. And the corners. And presto, I have Instant Robot. But this robot is not complete. It's just a basic robot. So now I'm going to add details to my robot. Before I do that though, I want you guys to be thinking of a problem that your robot could help solve. For instance, in my family right now, we're doing a lot more cooking. I'm not used to doing this much cooking. We're home a lot, and I'm doing a lot more cooking. So I'm wishing that I had a robot that would help me with the cooking. So I added details to make it clear that my robot does that. Maybe you need a robot for a different problem. Maybe you can think of a problem that needs solving, and you could create a robot to help solve it. When I was doing this robot, I thought I have to have the arm swivel. So I wanted to put a little circle there so that the arm could swivel and move around while the spatula was working to clean up things out of the pan. I put wheels on my robot so it could move around the kitchen smoothly. So think about those details and what are they going to do for your robot, and how's it going to make your robot work better. Okay? I hope you've enjoyed some of the things that I've shown you how to make out of old cardboard boxes. Maybe we can think of some more, and I'll put more of those videos up later. Anyway, enjoy. I hope you guys are creating lots of art. Have a great time.
Wow, what a wonderful show. I have learned so much. I hope you have too. And you know what? We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching today. And it's always a wonderful day to be a tiger.
See you next time, boys and girls.